this moment, because only when we stand up and say, no, 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 not in our name, is it possible that those folks can be deterred. They're not going to be deterred by folks of color. They're not going to be deterred by the President of the United States, Barack Obama, telling them not to. They're not going to be deterred by the law. But whether or not they might be deterred by other white folks challenging them, taking them on, and showing them this isn't going to be white against black and brown. If you decide to take up arms against the people that we care about and against multiracial democracy, you will be taking up arms against your own family. You will be taking up arms against the people who live down the road from you. We're going to have to be that brave and that bold and put ourselves on the line in order to deter that.
You talk about 50% of the arms are owned by 3% of the people. We have a clip here with Donald Trump speaking on the Second Amendment. We want to examine this.
So, I just wrote this down today. Hillary
Happy
wants
Monday.
to
I
raise
love
taxes.
everybody. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I'm just going to give me a
Hillary
quick
wants
round
to
or two.
expand regulations, which she does bigly. Can you believe that? I will reduce them very, very substantially. Could be as much as 70-75%. Hillary wants to shut down energy production. I want to expand it. Lower electric bills. Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. By the way, and if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a signal that violence is to be contemplated. It's obvious that he's not necessarily calling for assassination, but he's joking about the potentiality of assassination, essentially saying, if she wins and she gets to pick the judges, what are you going to do? The only thing, well, the Second Amendment people, maybe you can do something. Now, his explanation for that after the fact, of course, was, I'm just saying we'll make phone calls, we'll lobby to change who she picks, but she already said
I'm just
the
watching
judges would already be in place. It would be too late for that.
Bringing in right here is my father's, one of his victims. Many true words spoken.
Yes. Right.
Many true words spoken.
Right. It's that off-the-cuff kind of talking that really reveals who Donald Trump is. Anybody can write a speech on a teleprompter and stick to the script and hide what it is that they mean and be very careful. Politicians normally do that. That's the political calculation of being very cautious that most politicians on the right or the left engage in. When he goes off script and says those kinds of things, that's going to be...
Alright, so I'm listening to this joker named Tim Wise talk about white supremacy and racism and all that shit, and white privilege. So that's I just checked him out on the Rock Newman show.
I want to thank you all for coming out. I want to start off by telling you that I think it is probably a good idea, and I try to give this advice at most of my talks. It's probably a very good idea when somebody stands in front of you and is proclaimed by virtue of their bio and by virtue of their curriculum vitae, their resume, that part of which is read to you.
I don't know what's wrong with these white folk. Why they going crazy?
Proclaimed to be an expert.
I gotta know what's wrong with them and why they going crazy. They have to deal with issues like true justice and repentance, and retribution and reciprocity.
It must be because they are indeed the brightest bulb in the box, that they know something that the other people don't know.
It's gotta come a time where you gotta pay for the shit you to put it in the ground, man. You gotta take it back out the ground. It's gonna grow up out the ground, and that's what's going on.
Because I'm the best speaker on those subjects, I'm fairly good, and I intend
It's just
to
a
demonstrate
natural
that
cycle
to you
of
in the next
the
hour.
universe.
It is not because I'm the best writer on the subject, though I am okay with that as well. It is instead because I know this, fit the aesthetic that is needed on too many campuses and too many communities around the country in order to come in and to give this talk. Nothing that I am going to say tonight, or at least very little, originated in my head. Nothing, or at least very little, of what I say tonight is in fact new. Almost every single thing that I'm going to say this evening is wisdom that has been shared with me either patiently or sometimes not so patiently by people of color who have in almost every instance forgotten more about the subjects of racism and white privilege since breakfast yesterday than I will likely ever know. And yet they will not be asked to get 85 engagements around the country this year or next on this subject. Not because they have not the wisdom to do it, but because privilege, the subject that I'll deal with tonight, bestows upon me that advantage. And so as a matter of responsibility and accountability, I have to own that up front, so that when you go away from this evening thinking to yourself, my goodness, that was good. And I'm sure that's my subliminal way to tell you you're going to think this is great. And when you go away from here thinking that I filled your head with all this great knowledge and wisdom, please know that it is not mine. And the next time you hear it from a person of color, the next time it is shared with you, for those in the audience particularly who are white, the next time it is shared with you by a person of color, as it will be and as it has been in one form or another, please listen to it. And please know that it is from that source that I get virtually all of my material. We will know that we have made progress only on that day when a person of color can get up and get to talk and understand half the series that is I expect to show. It's interesting to see so many people come out to me today, because to hear some people tell it, you would think that this conversation
Yep.
to pay attention to the American political process and what the candidates for this nation's highest office have to say and not say about the issues that are of importance to them and thus be able to presume importance to the nation. You would get the impression that the issue of race, that the issue of racism, that the issue of discrimination, and certainly that the issue of white racial privilege were non-existent issues, that they were really no importance or very little importance, because you will not hear and have not heard any of the candidates for presidency of the United States in either party or whatever political ideology make this an issue. Yes, they talk about poverty, and occasionally they talk about schooling and education, they talk about healthcare, they talk about all of those things, but not once have any of those candidates tried to directly connect the role that race has, the role that racial discrimination, the role that institutional racial oppression and white privilege play in regard to health, in regard to housing, in regard to schooling, in regard to poverty. It is as if those issues exist in a vacuum and have no relationship to color, have no relationship to race, have no relationship to a history of racial subordination. What does it say about our nation's political process and about our nation's political and social culture that none of these candidates for office has seen fit to tell the American public the following things? All of which you would think would be campaign issues of some importance, at least to some people. And if they don't say, why is it that none of them mentioned that it was last year, 2006, not 1996, not 1986, not 1976 or 66, but 2006, which witnessed the highest number of race-based housing discrimination complaints in recorded history. The Fair Housing Act was passed in 1968, the year of my birth, and yet it was not 1968 that witnessed the highest level of discrimination complaints based on race. It was 38 years later, in 2006. What does it say about our culture and the politicians, the choices we've been given for leader of the so-called free world, that none of these candidates seem fit to mention as they talk about healthcare, which subject can be talked about with some regularity? What does it say that none of them seem fit to mention the research that was published in the American Journal of Public Health in 2004, which had looked at 10 years of excess mortality data for African Americans from 1991 to 2000, looking at the number of black folks who had died above and beyond the number that would have died for their blackness, in fact, and the social and economic conditions that ascribe and essentially adhere to blackness in this country. And what they found in that study, which received almost no media attention, again, published in an academic journal, not read by the average American, not read by political candidates, read by doctors and people who research the healthcare industry, that's about it. This study found that between 1991 and 2000, there were almost 1 million black people in this country who died, who would not have died if they merely been white and had the average healthcare quality and access of a typical white person in this country. Had they been living in neighborhoods like white neighborhoods in which the levels of exposure to toxicity have been as low as it is in the typical white neighborhood, as opposed to excess exposure to toxins, pollutants, etc. in black and brown spaces. Almost 1 million excess dead people in this case, black folks who wouldn't have died had the system of healthcare access and exposure to toxics been equal between white folks and black folks. How is 1 million dead black people mean? You see, if James Byrd gets dragged to death behind a truck in Jasper, Texas, you will hear about that, and well, you should. If one individual is the victim of a vicious hate crime, you will hear about that, and well, you should. But if nearly 1 million people die, not because of bigotry, not because of hatred, not because of some white supremacist organization, but because of systemic and institutionalized injustice, you will not hear anything. How is it not news? And why are no candidates mentioning that according to the Department of Justice, in a study released in 2004, black and Latino males are 3 times more likely than white males to have their cars stopped and searched for drugs, even though white males are 4.5 times more likely to actually have drugs on us on the occasion when we are stopped. Now think about that. Because that suggests that racial profiling is not just racist, we know that is redundant. But it's also pretty stupid as law enforcement. Because I guess it's only stupid if you think the purpose of the war on drugs is actually to get drugs on the street. Because if that were the purpose, putting aside whether or not we ought to deal with a medical and a health problem known as drug addiction with war metaphors in the first place. Different lecture for a different night. Even if we assume that that is a good policy, let us be clear that that is not what we're fighting. We're not fighting a war on drugs because the goal of the war is to go where the enemy is. And if the white folks are the ones with the drugs in the car, and the black and brown folks are the ones getting stopped, the people fighting this war are either supremely stupid or just have really bad short-term memory. I can keep forgetting. Oh, damn, I fell over another guy named Martinez. I keep forgetting it's white people. Damn, nobody knows. On the dashboard. I wonder what's wrong with me. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's something else. I do trainings with law enforcement. It's not a hell of a lot. Law enforcement officers, what's the first thing you think when you see a young black or Latino male driving a nice car in your neighborhood? And they all, without fail and without exception, will say drugs. I then ask them, what's the first thing you think when you see a young white male, same age, driving the same kind of car in that same community? And they will say, without exception, without hesitation, without fail, spoiled little rich kid. That's probably more. Keep in mind, we've been together for about 90 seconds of the workshop. We have 2 hours left, and they have just asked themselves first, because what they have said is that they are making snap judgments on the basis of only color that work to the detriment of people of color, the benefit of white people. This is about 2 hours to go. When we find moving forward. These are people sworn to protect and to serve. It's right there on the car. Right there on the side of the car. And in the first 90 seconds, they are acknowledging these racial biases. How is that not an issue? How is it not an issue that according to that Justice Department report, while black and brown folks are having their real wells ripped apart on the side of the road, their trunks sprayed open, their dashboards ripped apart in the search for drugs which aren't even there, white people like me, notice I said like me because I'm not trying to tell you anything about me that you don't need to know and for which the statute of limitations has not yet expired, are driving by the roadblock with a trunk full of weed. And we're just waiting. Because we're not suspected, therefore we're not protected, therefore we're not punished. How is that not an issue? How is it not an issue that the typical white family in America, thanks to this history, this legacy of institutionalized oppression for some and advantage and privilege for others, how is it not news that the average white family, not the average rich white family, the average white family has 12 times the accumulated net worth of the average African American family, 8 times the accumulated net worth of the average Latino family, in large measure because those white average families have parents or grandparents who, even if they didn't have much, even if they were not rich, nonetheless were able to procure a little house, a little property, maybe with an FHA or a VA loan in the middle of the 20th century loans that were all but off limits to people of color as they gave hundreds of billions of dollars worth of assets and equity to those who were white. So that even white working class families families with less than $15,000 a year in annual income, depending on family size, technically legally the poverty limit. And yet the average white family with low income, less than $15,000, has the same average net worth as a typical black family with $60,000 or more. So that even those African American families that are professional, good jobs, occupational status, good educations, etc., and pretty good